What's up, guys? It's your girl Riva, and I am back again with another video. If you're new to this channel, hi, my name is Riva. It's very nice to meet you. Before we get into this video, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up. And as I always say, make sure you guys leave your comments in the comment section down below. It does not matter how you feel about this video. We all want to talk about it. Also, if you're not following me on Instagram, follow my Instagram. It's at RIVAH_JORDON. And we're going to go ahead and get right into this video.
The other day, I was having a session with an older woman in her late 30s, and she was just asking me questions about life, about men, about just general things that she was curious about. And one of the things that she asked me is that she said, Hafiz, why are so many guys my age dating all these young women in their 20s? What the heck is going on? And I said to her, do you really want to know? You sure you want to know? And she was like, I kind of already know. It's because the younger girls are so immature and they're easier to manipulate and they can't handle a woman their age. And
I love where this is going because that is the most common statement whenever a guy is dating a younger girl. So I'm already loving where this is going.
I said, I understand why you would feel that way, but that is a very simple narrative. And I don't like simple narratives because simple narratives don't really explain the fullness of what's going on. And it's very easy to kind of look at men in a negative connotation and create a simple narrative. Like, for example, why do younger women want older men? Men can easily say, well, women are gold diggers and they just want men with money and older guys have money. That's the only reason they want older guys. That's a simple narrative.
Right.
And so I challenged her and I was like, there are other reasons why men prefer younger women. And she said, well, can you explain those reasons? And so in today's video, I'm going to give you guys 3 reasons why most men prefer younger women. And it's a lot more easier to find a young woman who has one of these three things than it is to find an older woman who has these 3 things.
So before he continues, if you are a woman that is older, there's no need to be offended by this video. Because if I were a woman that was older and I saw a video like this, I would definitely just take into consideration whatever he's about to say or what the traits are, because it doesn't mean that when you're older that it's impossible for you to date or it's impossible for you to find love. That's not true at all. But I have a feeling it's going to be about being able to cooperate more, being more cooperative, being more bendable in situations. So I think it's important to just take note of this entire conversation. And again, it's also not the same thing for younger women as well. Not every younger woman is cooperative. So I'm just saying that to say that this is not offensive to anyone. This is just going to be him stating his opinion and I'm sure facts as well.
So let me describe what those 3 things are. The first thing is fitness. Okay. Here's the reality of the matter. Men are visual creatures.
Facts.
Men are visual creatures and men like physically fit women. Is there an exception to the rule? 100%.
Right.
Is there guys who like bigger women?
Yeah.
100%. But in the majority of men, especially when men have options, they prefer women to be fit. When you guys go on Instagram and you look at all the women that these men are liking their pictures, a lot of these women are physically fit women. Men like physically fit women. And what happens is, for most women, is that they're in their best shape when they're younger than when they're older. Is there an exception to the
Yes.
rule? Of course, there is an exception to the rule. But most women can honestly say that I weighed less when I was younger than when I was older. Unless obviously she was overweight at a younger age and she went through a fitness journey like many women who rock with the roommates.
Right.
But for most women, they gain weight. Because what happens is, first, your metabolism slows down, obviously, when you're older. But for most women, they don't have the time to take care of themselves. They're working jobs in the modern era. They're dealing with a lot of stress in their life. They're juggling many things. So a lot of women, unfortunately, let themselves go as the years progress. So while she was, maybe a size 4 when she was 21, by the time she's, 35, she may have gone up to a size 10 because she's not eating right, she's not sleeping right, she's working crazy hours. So a lot of times women's physical fitness deteriorates as they get older. And so with that being said, you got to think about it. If men value their women to be physically fit, if men are attracted to these kinds of women, then you have a lot of younger girls who are in fantastic shape and a lot of older women who are not. And similar to what I said, if you don't believe me, look at the average weight for an adult female who's 21 and look up the average weight of an adult woman who's 41. It's a very significant difference. Right. So when it comes to physical health, like I said, body and physical attractiveness and being physically fit is something that men desire. In the book His Needs, Her Needs, the best-selling book, over 2 million copies, Willard F. Harley talks about it. Men desire this across.
And I think it's important to also mention, based off of what he's saying about fitness too, is that, sometimes you even see couples that when they were like maybe younger and they got together, they were in a certain fitness. And then as they, progress in age, there's, a lot of times you see that woman is the one who ends up putting on weight and the guy doesn't really change that much. Just based off of like, as he said, metabolism slowing down, hormone changes in a woman's body, especially if there's children involved, like he says, like taking care more of the kids and getting caught up in everybody else and not yourself. And exactly like he said, again, there is exceptions. Not everybody fits into that box. There's some women who, they don't care how old they are. They're always going to be in their best shape possible. So I definitely agree with that. And yes, men are super visual, like super visual. That's why these people who are on Instagram or on social media have so much followers, so much likes, because men like what they see, right? So
across cultural studies, men desire this. So, like I said, for most women, when they're younger, they're in better shape because of all the different factors that make it easier to be in better shape when they're younger. So, therefore, that's one of the main reasons that men desire younger women, because younger women are more prone to be physically fit. The second reason that men desire younger women is because younger women are more feminine. Ladies, you guys understand clearly that you value and you desire masculinity.
Right.
Masculinity is very attractive to most women.
Yeah.
They want their men to be competent. They want their men to be assertive. They want their men to be proactive. Mm-hmm. They want their men to be decisive. Women love masculinity in a man. Yeah. And in a very similar fashion, even though it's a bit on the opposite end, men love femininity in women. Mm-hmm. And so one of the biggest things I've seen has gone awry in the modern era is that too many women think that because they're attracted to masculinity, men are also attracted to masculinity. When I say no, ladies, you are attracted to masculinity and the men are attracted to the other polarity, which is femininity.
I don't think that women think that men are attracted to masculinity. I think that society has definitely tricked women to take on this masculine energy, to take on this, you could do better by yourself. You don't need no man. So when you actually do get with a man who is masculine, you end up getting into an energy where you're competing with that man at all times. So I don't think that it's even a conscious thought that like, oh, maybe he desires me being so masculine. I think it's just because of how society is running and how everything is, that it's just in their subconscious that like I could do the same thing or I could do that better. So like I said, they end up competing with their masculine men. So they're trying to be more masculine than the masculine man in the relationship. They want two pants in the relationship. So that's my opinion.
It's like, positive and negatives, which creates that polarity, which creates that attraction. And so, because men are more attracted to femininity, a lot of younger girls are more feminine than the older women. And one of the biggest reasons why David Data even talks about it in his book for women, Dear Lover, is that for a lot of women in the modern era, you have to take care of yourself. You have to get a job, you have to pay your bills, you have to, climb the corporate ladder. You have to do these things. And so because women are working their jobs and they're working in their fields and they're, climbing the corporate ladder and doing all these things, a lot of women are having to tap into their masculinity. A lot of women are doing a lot of masculine things throughout their day. And while they're doing all these masculine things, they're not doing as many feminine things. So you have women working crazy hours, 40 hours a week, 60 hours a week, 80 hours a week, tapping into their masculinity all the time in the workplace, dueling, battling with men all day long. So if you're a woman who gets a job as a lawyer at 25 years old, and you're in this law firm, a very competitive law firm, climbing the corporate ladder to try to become a senior at the law firm, by the time you're 35, you've developed a lot of masculine energy.
True.
And this masculine energy that you've developed now makes you less attractive to the masculine man that you want. Because usually, especially high earning, high achieving women, they want a masculine man. But in order for these women to become high earning and high achieving, they tap into so much masculine energy that the femininity that they develop, that they need to attract the men that they want, is gone.
True.
But like I said, man, younger women are.
That's true. And then it's just like that judge who was saying that somebody uses as an example. I can't remember who it was. They were saying like a judge, like, as strong as she is, like in front of the courtroom and super masculine and all that, when she goes home, she's answering to her man. Right? Like that's not what she's taking home. But a lot of people don't also know the balance. Like, yes, you have to be strong and this and that in your workplace. However, it is essential to also keep your femininity, because strength doesn't mean a man, right? Strength doesn't mean that as a woman you have to turn into a man, right? Like you can literally be strong and opinionated and all of those things and still be a woman and still be feminine and still stand your ground. So I think that's important to mention as well. But also a lot of these women take that same energy of like, I'm the boss and I manage all these people home, and then try to do that with their man, and he's like, absolutely not.
Very feminine. David Data talks about this in his other book, The Way of the Superior Man, where younger women, they have this joie de vivre, they have this zest for life. They're bouncing off walls, they're excited, they're vibrant. There's a lot of life and happiness and excitement in them that unfortunately for a lot of older women, the difficulties of life wear them down. I mean, the saddest thing that I do is when I'm walking across the street and I'm walking, across the store, and I see a lot of older women and they look worn down. They look beaten up. The vibrant spirit that maybe was there in their early 20s, that vibrant energy is gone. Yeah. And then another thing that affects women's femininity is hurt and heartbreak. When a woman experiences hurt and heartbreak, it damages her heart. And when her heart is damaged, a lot of times that makes her turn off her femininity, because when I meet a lot of women who are no longer feminine, who are in their, early 30s, if not late 30s, a lot of these women know what they tell me is that I tried being feminine and it got me hurt. I tried being feminine, soft, and sweet, and the man took advantage of me, and they used me, and they treated me like a doormat.
So they just turned cold.
So a lot of women believe, unfortunately, that femininity is weakness and bad life experiences make them feel that way. But for the most part, a lot of younger girls have not been through that yet, so they're still open and very eager to
True.
express their femininity. Feminine women have a special power with men, and men are drawn to it the way flies are drawn to a light, the way bees are drawn to honey. Especially masculine men are drawn to feminine women. So if you are a woman and you're older and you're always tapped into the masculinity, you never tapped into your femininity, you have a lot of hurt and damage in your life that you never address, you lose that femininity. And the younger women who maybe have not fully, been in the workplace and kind of got beaten up by corporate America, who have not gone through these hardships, they have a lot of femininity that attracts the kind of caliber of men that you want.
And just like how Kevin says before, like, the world doesn't owe you understanding, right? So though these things may be true, and though these things may be valid to you and true to you, it doesn't mean that a man is going to meet you and know your whole life story and just commit to you or want to be in a relationship with you, right? All he's going to see is this person who's operating in this strong masculine energy. So I think it's necessary to address those issues and, like, seek therapy and seek, because there's no way that you should naturally, yes, like life and hurt and work and all these things can make you turn cold, yes, but it should not as well. Like, you should stand firm, right? I'm not saying that people don't go through things, but you want to always be like the best version of yourself, and sometimes in order to do that is to get, go to therapy or talk to somebody or seek some kind of something, because being aggressive as a woman all the time, being angry all the time, is not healthy for you, and ultimately you're not happy. And when you're your best self and when you're happy, of course you're going to attract somebody. So I think that's necessary to get, therapy or whatever outlet that you can to make your, maybe after you leave work, go to the gym, run a couple miles, like, release that stress, find ways to do things to release your stress so that you can remain that person that you are supposed to be.
And the last reason why men prefer younger women is because younger women are flexible.
I knew he was going to say that.
You see, what so many women tell me is they want a man who's a leader. They want a masculine man who can take charge and be a leader and be responsible. Leadership is such an important characteristic in so many women, especially when they want to desire a masculine man.
Mm-hmm.
So the key thing, if I'm a man and I'm a leader who wants to lead, I want somebody who can be led.
Right.
Going back to the salsa dancing example, if I'm a masculine salsa dancer, I want somebody who can follow my lead in the dance. And so what ends up happening is that for a lot of older women, because they're established, because they're kind of more stuck in their way, they're not very flexible to follow a man's lead.
True.
She's been living her life. She got her own car. She got her own home. She got all this stuff going on. It's harder.
It's like it's like her mindset at that point is like, but what can you tell me? Because I've done all this stuff on my own. I've done this stuff for years. I've been fine without you for years. Like, what can you tell me? And I agree that with a younger woman, it's like she hasn't had that much experience on her own. She hasn't built so much without you. So, she's not going to challenge the things that you say as much because she's gonna, respect and understand your experience. Whereas a woman is like, okay, no, I've been there, I've done that, I already know how to do this, I already know how to do that. What else?
Not saying it's impossible. It is harder for for her to follow a man's lead. And then some women will also tell me, I talk to women all the time about this topic, and they'll say, well, if the man proves himself to me, if the man shows me he's a great leader, then I can follow him. See, that's the problem. The man has to go through hoops. The man has to prove himself to you. The man has to, like I talked about in the previous video, he has to slay the dragon. He has to battle the minotaurs. He has to lift the gates. He has to get the magic key. He has to find the fiddle, to be able to, learn the riddle. Like, he has to do all these things
Right.
to prove to you, to maybe one day earn your respect so that you can be led by him. But the other...
Not even be led, so that you can respect him. Because when I hear that saying all the time, like, oh yeah, like, if he shows me that he's a good leader, then I'll be submissive. But then it's like, okay, it's really what you're saying is, when he shows me all the things I need to see, then I will respect him. Because the submissive part and the cooperation, that's neither here nor there. What you're literally saying is that you're going to pick and choose who you're going to respect. And I think that's a huge issue, because the fact that somebody has to prove something to you, and show you or prove themselves worthy, and you're already in a relationship with them, like, that's already a big problem. Like, how did you even get there where you're in a relationship with somebody that you don't trust? And then they're still, for years in, they're still trying to prove this to you, the person that they are. It's like, maybe that should have been addressed from the beginning, before you even got with somebody. You know what I'm saying? So, let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section.
Do that. Younger women have more admiration for older men.
True.
And so they're more likely to respect him and respect his leadership and want to follow him.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's something that men desire. Men desire to be admired. Mm-hmm. And what happens is, in all honesty, if you're not flexible and you can't follow a man's lead, a lot of times it's because you don't respect him.
Ha.
And going back to what Dr. Joy Eggers talked about in his book Love and Respect, men need respect. Mm-hmm. And the challenge is that sometimes women, it takes so much to gain the respect. I'm not saying that these older women, these younger women, are just these naive, idiots who just respect any guy. No. But if it takes men to go through all these hoops and to climb all these walls to prove themselves to you, to get respect, men don't want to go through all that.
Because the time that they're taking to prove to you like that you should respect him, obviously he's going to be going through hurdles and hoops of disrespect with you. So he's building animosity towards you while you're trying to figure out if you're going to respect him.
Men do not do all that, especially masculine. They don't climb the corporate ladder. They don't go through all the difficulties in life to not have to prove to the women to get respect.
Right. And
so, like I said, a lot of older women, they are very stuck in a way. I remember there was this woman. She was in her late 60s and late 50s or 60s, one of the two. I believe it was 50s. And she was talking about how she wanted a relationship. But I kid you not, she said the main reason why she cannot enter a relationship is because she likes her bed a certain way and she can't stand for somebody else to sleep in it. Mm. She is so stuck in the way of how she wants to sleep, where she's like, I don't want anyone in the bed with me because it'll mess up my sleep and that'll piss me off. She's not even flexible to just deal with a minor issue to be able to get love and happiness. So unfortunately, when people are so stuck in their ways, which unfortunately, I have an illustration.
And the longer you're alone, the longer you're without a relationship, especially if you haven't been in a relationship for years or live with another person for years, it just becomes harder naturally. Naturally, it's just going to become harder for you to want somebody in your space. Like, if you're living with somebody for years, you guys are both going to have to adjust to each other. After a while, you kind of know how he is. He kind of knows how you are. And you guys, find that happy medium and just, move forward. But if you're alone and especially if you're I feel like a lot of women are very particular in the way that they like things and the way that they do things. So you're just going to keep doing things exactly how you want it. If you have children, they have to follow your lead. So somebody coming in wanting to, not knowing all the things that make you tick or make you angry, and they're just being their natural self, it's going to be like a miserable conflict all the time.
I don't know if it'll offend you ladies or not.
Uh-oh.
And in true Hafiz fashion, I'm going to say it anyway.
Okay.
It's kind of like men want their women to be like Play-Doh in a sense, to be moldable.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, like Play-Doh, that's been out for a long period of time, a lot of older women are just not moldable. They're not flexible. They're not, a man can't lead them because of, like I said, a myriad of reasons. And on top of that, also because of damage.
Play-Doh's a great analogy because it's soft, right? It is moldable, and like way back in the day, that's why like my great grandparents' generation, like they got married at a way younger age, and of course, like the woman was just she just went from being with her parents to being with her husband, and he, there was no question of their respect. There was no question on doing what he says. So yeah, in actuality, like they're molding that person to be a perfect fit for themselves. And while they're younger, so while it was easier, not while they're, way older and they've already been there, done that, and there's nothing new to offer to their spouse, right? Like a woman who's been in so many different relationships, young or old, or live with a lot of different people and had to do this and do that. Like by the time you get there, there's no new experience anyway. So she's already like, okay, what can you what can you do for me? What can you teach me? What can you show me that's different than what I've experienced with other people?
We're always talking about healing for women. Stefan's book, Love After Heartbreak, will do wonders. If women do not heal, they become so rigid, they don't trust a man. Because that's another component, and I can go on a whole other video about it. When women have gone through a lot of damage and they have not healed, they don't even trust men anymore. So they don't even want a man. They don't even trust a man to lead. A man tries to lead, they try to usurp the lead. They try to fight his leadership. So now there's two kings in one castle. My dad made it clear to me was there's no two kings to exist in one castle. So those are all reasons why men prefer younger women, which I shared to this woman. And then she was like, crap, I guess there's no hope for me. And I said, no, that's not true. Because all the things that I described can be changed, can be improved. I told her it's not the number in regards to the age that turns men off, is what happens when you age. You get out of shape. You get less feminine. You get less flexible. You have all this damage. You start losing trust for guys. It's what happens with the age. But if you are a woman and you are in great shape and you're taking care of your body, if you're a woman and you're learning how to tap into your femininity, and you learn how to master the feminine soft skills, and you learn how to go to work and maybe do the masculine tasks, but then to come home and to learn how to be feminine, soft, and sweet, and caring, and warm, and have that joie de vivre that the younger women have. If you are a woman who also is healed from her past trauma, who respects men, who is not a doormat, but can allow the right man to lead and to be the masculine man that he is in a relationship, there's no problem.
Right.
So I don't want any older woman to watch this video and to feel hopeless. This is simply things that you can do.
Yeah.
You can improve these things. You can get in your best shape. I tell women all the time, get in your best shape. Not for men, for you, for your own health and well-being. Women, tap into your femininity. It will help you. You'll feel happier. You'll feel sexier. You'll feel alive again. Heal from your past wounds. Learn how to trust men again. Learn how to allow a man to lead you in a dance. Because at the end of the day, a lot of women, if you want a man to take the lead, that means that you also want to be led. So you have to allow the man to take the lead and to respect his lead. Learn how to trust the right guy when he eventually comes around after you've healed. Yeah. And I truly believe if you're a woman who's working on these things, you will find a guy. A good, respectful man. I'm not saying you're going to find Prince Charming. I'm not saying you're going to find Drake or Michael B. Jordan. But you will find a respectful man that you can be able to be with.
Right.
But similar to what I tell men all the time, it takes you to put in the work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It takes you to actually improve your life.
Mm-hmm.
Just simply wanting the best is not good. You also got to put in the work to be the best.
Yeah.
And in closing, for all the young women who watch this video, some of you guys, even though you're young, you're not feminine anymore.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You're not in your best shape.
Yep.
You're not flexible. So the advantage that you have in regards to meeting attractive men, you guys don't even have them. So I
Right.
think it's also important that
Right.
you guys don't just think this is only for older women. This is all for you.
True.
At the end of the day, guys, I just want to see you ladies win. I have a lot of guys in the roommates who are leveling up, becoming the best version of themselves, and a lot of these guys want to get married. A lot of these guys want to have wives. A lot of these guys want to have families. Not everybody's on this whole anti-marriage. I'm just going to be this lone ranger living in a car or a van, traveling the country, being a nomad. A lot of guys are not. Most guys are not on that. And so the purpose of this video is just to help you ladies in every way possible. You guys are not the enemy. We need you. You need us. Let's continue to uplift and encourage one another. And I just hope that, you see that, man. It's just my heart to see you guys win. And whatever way possible I can help, that's what I'm simply trying to do.
So I think it's important. I'm mad he said it before me, but I was literally gonna say that we're saying this about like older women, but age really doesn't have much to do with it. It really has to do with your mindset, because there's some older women who would give some of these young girls a run for their money. Right? They're super feminine, super sensual, super cooperative, super fit, like, you know what I'm saying? And like he said, there's a lot of younger women who are the complete opposite. They're not in good shape. They're super masculine. You can't tell them anything. Like, they're like, no, it's my way, it's this, like that new modern mentality. So it really is not about age. It really is about your mindset and your mentality. And let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I really want to know. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel. Again, if you're not following me on Instagram, follow my Instagram. It's at RIVAH_JORDON. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video.